Next card, Wind Up Carrier Zenmaidi. It's the first succeeded to get hit, and I can understand why. It was just control. It just did too much of a hand loop, and and a lot of people say they should just ban the hunter, but I think they should limit the carrier Zenmaidi. I thought they should have limited the carrier Zenmaidi because Zenmaidi was their main card of the hunter loop, because the hunter just used carrier to just dump carrier to dump your opponent's hand, which was retarded. Now with one carrier, they can only ditch like one or two cards out of your hand, and they won't be able to drop 3 carriers on you and a den mains and all that crap on you. So one carrier, it hurts the swarming ability of wind ups, and it also hurts the hand loop, which is very nice. And it doesn't completely kill them off. They could still they could still hand loop you. They could still drop any rank 3 exceed on you, and so yeah, it just nerfs them. It doesn't kill them off. Want to give your thoughts?
I agree with what he said, but I do want to say something. I know a lot of you are still saying, well, banning the hunter would have fixed it. Banning the hunter would have fixed it. Banning the hunter would have fixed the hand loop, yes, but it wouldn't have fixed the deck problem in general. The wind-up carrier is too stupid. Its effect literally says you get 3 free carriers and you get a free 3-star exceed. That is not okay in any standard. And people say, well, once you got rid of the 3 carriers, they can't do it again. Yes, you can. That's what Emerald Gustav is for. He can put them back in your deck, give you a card, and then you can do your carrier loop all over again. They had to hit the carrier. There was no other way to balance windups other than hitting that carrier. Now, a lot of people say, well, they still have Hunter. They still have Hunter. Yes, they have a Hunter. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Summon Tour Guide, get Tour Bus, overlay, grab their carrier, detach plus, or tour guide, whatever, grab out a hunter, tribute. Okay, they have a hunter. What are they going to do? I mean, if they run the pure dedicated loop deck, it doesn't even matter anymore, because you only have one carrier and that carrier is gone. Unless they can figure out a way to get the carrier all the way back into their extra deck, right then, right there, it's useless. They get one card and then they have a hunter sitting there in attack mode. That's it. Unless they want to special summon another 3-star like instant fusion, then go into like Zen Maze or something. But then they have to lose life points or card advantage, or they're a lot more slow now. There's no more loop. People are still saying, well, they can still do the loop. They can still do the loop. No, they can't. The loop done. The loop is over. I mean, unless they literally top deck beyond belief, then maybe they can. They literally have to top deck
the perfect hand.
So godlike, and they'd still only, even with a perfect hand, you'd still only get 3 cards. Perfect hand. All 6 cards, you can hand pick them out of your deck as a wind-up player, and you'd only get 3 cards out of their hand. Period. That's just how it is. So you'd have to waste your entire hand to get 3 cards. Are you really going to do that? No, that's retarded. And are you going to draw that hand? Probably not. So like I said, it's just hitting that carrier really did fix everything, and nobody realized that. But Konami did, which shows Konami is actually looking at things and going, okay, we have to balance this. How can we balance this? And then they do balance it.
Yeah. Next card, last but not least, limited, Tsukuyomi. Now, this card, a lot of people players are saying, oh, you have to waste the normal summon, oh, you can only use effect once, oh, it has not enough attack power. People don't realize Tsukuyomi is an OTK factor. It's just too good of a card to come back. I don't think Konami should have ever brought this card back. Yes, you have to normal summon it, but what if there were a lot of splashable cards these days that you could easily bring out, that don't even require a normal summon. New Tsukuyomi just adds fuel to the fire. Tsukuyomi is like, okay, this is my normal summon. I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then I'm gonna special summon this and this and this to do all the dirty work. Okay, back to my hand. I'm gonna do all that crap again. It's just too retarded. A lot of monsters these days have low enough defense, so the other monsters, such as Thunder Kings or whatever your opponent has, can easily run over them now. For example, if you bring out a Monarch, and you bring out a Monarch, and you do all that, you tribute, you get rid of a card, you attack, and whatever, and then your opponent just drops Tsukuyomi on you, and you're like, are you kidding me? You're really gonna take that hard work away from you with one simple card? It's just not fair enough, and the fact that it bounces back to the hand, you can do it again, is retarded. It's like, okay, if it bounces back to the hand, your opponent does all this crap again to get another monster out on you, and your opponent gets to drop Tsukuyomi, do that again, just kill it again. So, they should not have brought it back at all. It has a lot of OTK factors. It helps out a lot of decks, especially retarded decks like Empty Jar and They're like gravekeepers and all this BS. So you should have never came back. Your thoughts?
I do agree. Like, Tsukuyomi is a free Book of Moon every single turn, and that never is going to be balanced, no matter what you do. It literally tells your opponent, if you play a monster with less than 1200 defense, it will die automatically. Like, it's a guarantee. So, it's a free intimidation factor, and it can be made to abuse cards such as Gravekeeper Spy. Oh look, I flip Spy, I get some ridiculous beatstick. Oh wait, summon Tsukuyomi, put Spy back face down. Reapply effect next turn. And you can drain your deck of every single Gravekeeper in existence and still, have, Spy in defense. Or even more with Empty Jar. Like, that's another problem, is with Empty Jar. With Needleworm and stuff like that, Oh, look, flip it up, mill 5. Oh, wait, I have Tsukuyomi, Infinite Book of Moon, book it back face down. And all they do is sit there under one stall card. If you can't get past that stall card, you lose. 5 cards, 5 cards, 5 cards, and it just kills you. So, they really, I don't know why they brought her back. I don't think she should have been brought back. I hate they should have brought back, but she is, so we'll have to see how it affects the format. Now going to the semi-limited list, the first card on here I want to talk about, because I believe it was definitely necessary, is Rescue Rabbit. Thank you. I'm so tired of, I have triple Tour Guide and triple Rabbit. Guess what? I'm just going to sit here and summon Logias and Dolkos all day long on you. It's like, no, you're not. You're actually going to have to try and draw one of those now. Because you went from 6 of them to 4 of them, which means there's a less chance of drawing it. Because before, you had 6 of them. You were almost guaranteed one of them in your starting hand at least. So you really didn't have to care. Now you have to actually try. So I think Rabbit coming down to 2 will really help. Because Rabbit wasn't an overpowered deck, but it still was a really, really sacky deck.
I actually disagree with this. I think Rabbit should have went to 1 and not to 2. The fact that you can drop Rabbit first turn and go into a Logia that your opponent has the -2 to get rid of. And maybe even more if your opponent sets the lands, because if you go like, okay, smashing, detach material, smashing, oh, lands. And you're like, are you kidding me? I just minus myself this much and get enough land to me, and it's unaffected for the rest of the turn. Next turn it goes back to a beat stick and just kills you harder. So Rabbit just gives too much advantage to Dino players whenever they can drop. If they can get those Logias and Dolkas or whatever they go into off, it's really abusive. And 2 Rabbit, Dino Rabbits can still work with 2 Rabbits. So I really think Rabbit should have been limited. But I can understand why they would also semi-limited, because they don't want to kill off Rescue Rabbit still. Because they're still trying to promote a different type of Rescue Rabbit deck, which is the Warrior type of Rescue Rabbit decks with Heroic Champion Excalibur and Noble Knight Gawain and Noble Knight are the normal monster one. And in the future, I've also heard that they're going to make a Dragon type of Rescue Rabbit deck, where you go Rescue Rabbit and grab Alexander Dragon or Luster Dragon and make some Dragon Exceed. So that I heard that's going to be promoted in the future. So I think they still want to promote Rescue Rabbits. That's why they would semi-limited. So that's my thoughts. The next card I want to talk about, which is Tour Guide. I guess Tour Guide TCG exclusives are vulnerable to being hit now. So I think it's nice that Konami went ahead and hit Tour Guide, even though they had the power to not hit Tour Guide, even though they did. So it's nice to see Tour Guide hit. It lowers the chance of going first turn Tour Guide, dropping Zen mains on you, try to run over that, and getting pluses. So Tour Guide gave too much pluses, too much decks. It gave too much advantages, so it's nice to see it get semi-limited. And you can only use Tour Guide twice now. You go Tour Guide Sangan and Tour Guide into Bust. And if you draw that Bust, you pretty much lose the game. That's how it is. So that's my thoughts on Tour Guide. Any thoughts, Timothy?
My thoughts on Tour Guide are similar. It was way too easy to make level 3 exceeds with her, and she gave too many pluses from the level 3 or rank 3 exceeds she made. Really, she had to be dropped down a little bit. A lot of people are under the assumption of, they don't hit TCG exclusives, they don't hit TCG exclusives. That's not the case. They usually won't. Most of the time they release a TCG exclusive, they don't hit it very much because it's something we get and it's something special. It's something they don't want to hit because they gave it to us alone. Now, sometimes those cards have to be it. Sometimes they are just stupid and become ridiculous, such as Reborn Tengu and
Allure of
Tour Guide
Darkness.
and Allure and crap like that. I mean, sometimes they're just ridiculous cards that must be, kind of hit in some way because they just become too powerful. So, a lot of people say Konami won't, but I think the whole thing is Konami doesn't because they don't want to. But I do agree that it being hit was a good thing.
Alright. Next card, Blackwing Kalut the Moonshadow. People are saying Blackwings will see more play, but no, Blackwings won't. They just lost Bryanak. The Blackwings cannot make any good level 6 synchros. Blackwings were known to make fast level 6 or level 7 synchros, and now with Bryanak gone, they really don't have anything they could go for. All they have is Guy Knight, which is a 26 beat stick that could easily be warninged or run over by other beat sticks, and Iron Chain, which really does anything anymore. So Blackwings don't have the potential for good OTKing or good popping anything anymore with Bryanak on. And Cluda too, it doesn't really help him. I guess it helps Shura grabbing the value and making it faster, but it still doesn't help him at all. I think they should have brought back Gale. I think they should have brought Gale back up at 2, so Blackwings won't have to focus on making rank 6s. Level 6s. They would focus more on making their armor masters. So Gale would have been a smarter idea instead of Kalut. But they listened to the community because most of the community wanted Kalut back, and that's what they did. So I guess it's alright to see them pushing Blackwings by. It's nice to see them at least give Blackwings some support after killing their Bryanak and killing their Trishula and killing this and killing that. So, any thoughts?
It won't make any difference.
Yeah, my
so
point
my only
exactly.
thought on it is like, oh, you got another clue back. I don't care.
Drop.
I'm just gonna kill your monsters as soon as you play them. I don't really have to attack over them anymore.
Yeah, Blackwings are dead.
What do I care?
Unless Gale comes at 3 or 2, Blackwings are dead. They just lose everything.
Yeah, Kalut. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll help them a little bit, but it just won't do anything. So
I think Bryanak ban killed them more. But whatever. Next card, Agent of Mystery Earth. I think Konami realized they went too harsh on agents, and no one saw any agents being played in the last format, so they're like, hey, let's just bring it back up at 2. Let's see how it does. There's a lot more faster cards than Earth. Earth was just a generic search that grabbed Venus, and Venus made Gotchi, but now there's like Tour Guide, which just makes Zen mains even faster, so they're like, yay, let's just bring it back up 2, see how it does. So I'm all fine with Earth being up at 2. I just don't like the fact that Heralds might see more play, because Herald of Perfection is a retarded card. It's a 28 defender that can negate anything you do. It's just retarded. So, those are my thoughts.
I think that they realized that they over-nerfed agents, just like they over-nerfed plants. I think that they realized, well, we kind of just nuked them completely, which they didn't want. They want people to still try and play agents, they just don't want agents to be retarded. So I think they brought Earth back to 2 just to kind of help offset agent players. I don't think very many people will go back to playing agents, but it's nice that they're trying to at least bring some of the cards back that they over-nuked.
Yeah. Last card for semi-limited monsters, the Breed Dragon. I don't really see a reason why it was still at 1. The plant engine was completely dead. I think they still want to promote the plant engine, but not as they don't want it as powerful as it once was. So they're putting the Breed Dragon at 2, so players can still make that Black Rose and destroy the field as their whole engine without and it's not going to be as overpowered as once before, because now if you go Black Rose and nuke the field, your opponent's just going to do the same crap they did last turn on you. They're like, okay, destroy my monsters. Here are some more, now Black Rose them too, please. It's just like that. That's how they are this format, so they're like, putting the Breeze at 2 doesn't really do anything. It's not going to be overpowered. It's just going to be to help them a little after they got kicked in the nuts last format. So, yeah, those are all my thoughts.